Hey there, YouTube friends. Mass Bandit here with another episode of Conifer Slopes. Been gone for a little bit on a planned hiatus. Took a trip up to Chicago, rode some roller coasters. But I'm back now with more Conifer Slopes. This is episode 11 of Conifer Slopes. And in today's episode, we are continuing to fill up the transition area from sort of the carousel back towards Category 5. It's a ginormous area. It's way bigger than I anticipated it being. And so with that, it's going to take a few more episodes than I originally planned. But anyway, we're going to add ourselves the facade of a shop, and we're going to kind of detail one of the flats and just try to make it look a little neater. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the time lapse, and I will see you on the other side of this cut. Alright, so we're here in the time lapse, and the first thing we're going to be doing is building a big red barn. And you might be thinking, well, why a big red barn? Well, I've got a whole list here of things that I want to talk about today. And the very first one on my little list is the big red barn. Obviously, it's the first thing in the time lapse, but there's a reason that this barn exists in the park, and it's part of the park's history. In the original version of Conifer Slopes, there was a sort of barn building type thing. It was really bad. That the original wooden coaster Hawk, yeah, the one that's there now. Well, in the original version of Conifer Slopes, Hawk flew through this wretched barn. Like, I don't even know if you can call it a barn. It was a structure that I called a barn. Anyway, yeah, it flew through it, and it was in a random place, and it was stupid, and it ended up getting torn out when, in the story, the King Co. tore down Hawk, and they replaced it with a flying B&M flyer called Phoenix. That's when the barn got removed. In addition, in the original Conifer Slopes, there was a rustic gift shop on the corner that transitioned from the main entrance, kind of this Category 5 plaza, into the western theme area of the park. And so I had those two different structures in the original park. And then when I rebooted it, it was the third reboot, actually, the one that was much more closer to the original. The most recent one, the one that's actually on YouTube, you can see, you can see that there is a barn gift shop. And what I did is I kind of combined both ideas. I took the whole idea of the barn, and I actually made it look like a barn. And I combined it with the gift shop that was always there. So I kind of two birds in one stone. It's kind of an homage to what was there originally, just I think done a lot better. So barns, they look simple, but there's a little bit to them. If you noticed, I took the wall pieces and I actually made them their own building, and I stuck them out just ever so slightly to make it look like they're little doors. And that was kind of I think that's a little detail that'll go a long way. It's a pretty simple looking structure, and I mean, in the end it is. I don't think barns are all that complicated, especially not like your standard, red barn. You also notice that there's no interior yet. I googled what the outside of a barn looks like. I really don't know what the inside looks like. I have some ideas, but I want it to look right. And that's going to take some time, and I had already been recording for quite a bit by the time I thought of doing the interior. So we're just going to save that interior for another day. So yeah, this is the big red barn build. And then after the big red barn, we get into theming of the, I don't know what they call it. I don't know what any of the flat rides in game are called. Shame on me, I know. But we theme a flat ride, and we had a queue and a queue cover and da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. So yeah, I'm going to tell you what we're doing. Oh, and then the last thing we're going to do in this episode is we're going to build a bridge. The second railroad bridge over the path. So that's kind of a rough outline of the video, and I'll talk about stuff as it comes up, but I want to get through everything that I have some notes here, because it's been a while since we've done a video. As I mentioned, I was away on a trip to Chicago. I am originally from Chicago. I live here in Houston, and we visited the house that I grew up in Chicago, and we spent almost 2 weeks there. And going back to your home with 2 little children and a wife in a small little house and staying there. Oh, it's a blast. It's a ball. It was a great time. Great time. I mentioned we went to Six Flags Great America. That was one of the things we did. I just put up a video, and I'm sure a bunch of you have already seen it. But if you haven't, and you want to see a little bit of what Great America looks like, I put up a little video. It's nothing spectacular. It's kind of goofy. But, you know, it's fun. It was something fun to do. It made the day that much more enjoyable. So if you're interested in Six Flags Great America and my little trip that I took, then go ahead and check that out. I have a link in the description for that video if you're at all curious. So in addition to Six Flags, we went to Wrigley Field. I am a huge Cub fan. And I haven't actually been to Wrigley Field in 5 years. So it was really neat. First time, obviously, we've been since they won the World Series. And they won the game, which is great. It was great. We got there really early. We did a lot of tailgating. I guess or pre-gaming. It's not really tailgating. Pre-gaming at a couple of the spots. We got the game was at night. It was a 7 o'clock game. We got down there at 2:30. Started enjoying ourselves at 2:30. By the time we got into the park at 5:30, everyone was feeling good. We got in the park right away because we had bleacher tickets. We got to sit in the front row of the bleachers. It was a great time. For a giant Cub fan, that was really cool. In addition, we visited a couple local breweries. If you're ever in Chicago on the south side and you have the opportunity to check out Blue Island Brewing Company, I highly recommend it. Very good stuff. Excellent. So that's just a little brief insight as to where I've been the last several weeks. So, and now it's July already here. This video is probably going to drop on July 2nd. It's 4th of July weekend for all of you Americans that celebrate. Obviously, we all do. It's one of my favorite. As a kid growing up, I always enjoyed 4th of July, and I don't know why. The fireworks are fun, and I don't know, it's just as a kid, it was always a fun summer holiday. So that's coming up. And as far as my summer schedule goes, I know I talked about how much time I was going to have. Turns out not so much. So I'm still going to try to do about 2 episodes a week. Now that we're back in it for the next month to 6 weeks-ish, I should be able to keep up that pace if everything goes according to plan. So hopefully we'll get, a couple more episodes of this. We'll get a couple more episodes of Sapphire Bay on City Skylines. Hopefully you've checked that out too. I like City Skylines a lot. It's a fun game. So if you haven't checked that series out, I encourage you to do that as well. If you like what I do in Planet Coaster, you might enjoy what I do in City Skylines. So yeah, I'm gonna try for 2 videos a week. I think that should be doable. And then that brings me to Bro Coaster and the other giant thing. The reason most of you are subscribed to my channel, let's just be honest. You'll notice there hasn't been a Bro Coaster video this week, and it's already the weekend. And now we're going on 2 weeks without a Bro Coaster video. We're kind of in a lull right now. We just actually recorded a couple things a couple days ago. So we have a lot of videos backlogged. It's a matter of getting them edited and getting them out to you. And unfortunately, Mike is way better at the editing than I can ever dream to be. And so with that being said, it's hard to get those videos. I can't help get those videos out. I can only do my job in the building and be there to record with him. He's got to edit them. And he's in a rough patch right now. He's got a lot of stuff going on in real life, work, and he also joined the Shy Guys World competition, the summer competition, the Planet Coaster competition. So he's really busy right now. Bro Coaster's still hanging around. It's just I can't guarantee weekly updates. So we went from 2 updates a week to 1 update a week to whenever you get them. and I'm sorry, but that's kind of the way it's going to have to be for a while. So, meh. But there are some really cool things coming up in that series. Like I said, we've got a bunch recorded already. So, do stick around. Do hang on. There's more Bro Coaster coming. I just can't really tell you when. Yeah. So, And then while I was gone, there was a big old summer update that dropped, complete with fireworks and new coasters and new rides. And everyone, the first 24 to 48 hours, everyone and their brother weighed in on what they thought of it and gave reviews and showed everything that was new and da-da-da-da-da. I don't do those videos. That's not my jam. And on top of it, I wasn't even around a computer. No, that's not true. I came home the day it came out. To be fair, I thought I was going to want to play. The last thing I wanted to do when I got home from our trip was hop on the computer and play Planet Coaster. But after tooling around with it, it's fine. I can't look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess. I mean, it's free, right? The coasters are okay. I don't know. I don't understand why we need to have the same track with different cars be their own unique coaster. Maybe there's like an under the hood reason for that, but it's just kind of cluttering up the menu, it feels like. And I'm not sure how much I'm going to use any of those new coasters that came out. And then you've got the flats, which a couple of them are cool. But then I was so excited for the observation tower. And first of all, it's a very modern, sleek design, which is okay. But if you want any sort of history to your park, you're going to want that older version. And we don't have that. And on top of that, it's not modular. You can't build it to a certain height. I guess I shouldn't have expected that, because none of the flats you can change the height on, like none of the towers you can do that with, which is, I think, a really unfortunate misstep. Like, for all the things Frontier does right, I think that kind of and the observation tower is just beyond gargantuan. As you all know by now, my scale's very small. I try to stay very realistic to scales, to the peeps, and I try to make the buildings not too huge, and so I have a really hard time finding flats that'll fit into my scale to begin with. Maybe that's my fault for picking the wrong scale for Planet Coaster, but God, that observation tower is just it's unnecessarily huge, and I'm really disappointed with that. So, the extra scenery pieces, the few scenery pieces we've seen that aren't necessarily American themed, are great. Can always use new scenery pieces. The 4th of July pieces, I can take or leave there. I'm not gonna ever use those, I don't think. Of course, the biggest thing in that update are the fireworks, and I've dabbled in that in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I did a little bit of fireworks work. Is that what you would say? I did a little bit of firework work in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Published a couple shows. It's cool. I have not touched the fireworks yet, and I haven't touched them yet. And I don't know if I'm going to. I've heard that they're kind of difficult from the initial go. Seems people are having a hard time getting things to do what they want, and there's other things I want aside from fireworks. So I don't know. I'm always thankful for new stuff, but it's just felt like a lot of the stuff that's out. Oh, billboards is another thing. I'd like to get into that, but I seriously doubt my video making and logo making skills to begin with. So yeah. But those are cool. I mean, and it's awesome to see what some people, like Dan Wolf is one of those people out there that's, he's already making custom textures, custom walls with the billboards, which is really cool and really neat. And I love the TVs, and I think there's a lot of I think the best part of that update is actually the billboards. I think that is really the part that's going to be a total game changer. I haven't really touched them yet. I plan to, but yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, overall the update was fine. It's, it's cool. And again, it's free. I'm not going to complain about free. I love free. So thank you, Frontier, for giving us 4 free updates. I do hope that when we get the paid update, we can get some really game-changing stuff. I'd like weather. I'm kind of on the weather bandwagon. It's been in every Roller Coaster Tycoon game. And, I mean, since the beginning. It was in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Frontier made that game. I think we need weather. And I'd actually, at this point, I'm willing to pay for it. If it's done well and it adds something to the game, I think that'd be cool. We need more smaller flats. We need some more historic flats. Everything's very modern and cutting edge. We need some more old school flats. Like, for example, there was this like 3-armed Ferris wheel type ride that was at Six Flags Great America a long time ago. It'd be really cool to have that. That's a neat retro kind of ride. There's all those super historical ones, the whip and all that stuff. It'd be cool to have too. Everyone's clamoring for water parks. I could take it or leave it. That was one of the things I never really played with in Roller Coaster Tycoon. And of course, it's all just me. I know there's a lot of people that want water slides and water parks, but I don't really need animals either. Like, I'd like better water rides, better rapids, better rafts. I'd like them to overhaul that. I'd like them to add more historic rides. I think that's the direction that Planet Coaster should go. And so now that I've stood on my soapbox long enough, let's actually talk a little bit about the video here. And so here we're building our little train station, bridge, and I wanted it to be different than the first one. I didn't want it to be symmetrical. I wanted them to be unique. And I wasn't sure what piece to use, and then I found this awesome fairy tale horizontal piece that was really cool. And it kind of built itself to be just a really, really simple bridge. I think it needs some more details. I think that I'm going to go ahead and add some fencing or something to kind of protect the train a little bit more, or make it a little bit wider so it's not like, it's pretty harrowing. Like, I can imagine being on the train and kind of pooping myself because you can't see the bridge at all. It's basically the width of the train tracks, and I'm not even sure if that's like architecturally or physically sound. So looking at it now, I'm probably going to extend it a bit and add some fences or something to make it a little bit more robust, I guess we'll say. So yeah, and actually we're coming near the end of the video. I said let's talk about what we're doing. I kind of talked through the whole thing, so I'm just going to let the tunes roll. There's really not much else for me to say. It's funny, this is about 2 hours of playtime that's been whittled down into this time lapse. And you would have thought I got more stuff done in 2 hours. It never really dawned on me until now. What a slow poke of a builder I am. Like, I'm really slow. I'm really, really slow. So I assumed I'd get a lot more done than I actually did. But, oh well. So, what are you going to do? This was actually really fun. I got this all done. I was surprised I got into such a groove here after being off for so long. So it's nice to feel that. So yeah, we're just gonna let the music roll, and I'm gonna do my little sign off here, and then you can have some cinematics at the end. So thanks so much for watching this video, and thanks for coming back after our little break. And thank you so much if you've subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me. And if you haven't, consider it. Lots of cool stuff going on. And if you are subscribed but aren't following the little notification bell, go ahead and do that. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up the pace here the next couple weeks. So you're going to want to stay in touch. You never want to miss a Bro Coaster or a Conifer Slopes or even a City Skyline. So go ahead and hit that notification bell. Thumbs up the video if you liked it, please. You know the drill, all that stuff. And with that being said, I will see you guys all for the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will indeed see you next time. Bye-bye.